All right, let's get into it. Today, we're tackling one of summer's, well, hottest questions, literally. How do dogs actually stay cool? We're going to unravel the fascinating and kind of weird masterpiece that is their internal cooling system.
You know, if you're a dog owner, I'm willing to bet you've had this exact thought. It's a scorching day, you're sweating like crazy, you look over at your best friend and they're just panting. It's so different from how we handle the heat, right? So what's really going on? How are they actually dealing with it?
And trust me, the answer is way cooler than you might think. Seriously, understanding the science here isn't just trivia. It's absolutely key to keeping your buddies safe and happy all summer. So let's dive in.
Okay, first up, the science of the sploot. And we're talking about more than just panting here. It's so easy to just assume that's the whole story. But a dog's cooling system, man, it's this brilliant piece of natural engineering. There are a bunch of different parts all working together.
And this chart really lays it all out for us. I mean, look at that. Panting is the undisputed champion, right? It's doing like 80% of the heavy lifting. But you see those other two slices? Vasodilation and pause sweating. They might look small, but don't underestimate them. They're super important support systems. Let's break each one down.
So let's start with the main event, panting. And I want to be clear, this is not just heavy breathing. It's this super efficient system of heat exchange. A dog can take up to 400 breaths a minute. Think about that. Every single one of those breaths pulls cool air over their wet tongue and lungs. That moisture evaporates, and poof, it pulls heat right out of their body. It's incredibly effective. But, and this is a big but, it definitely has its limits, as we're about to see.
Okay, so this answers that big question from the beginning. Do dogs sweat? Yes, just not like we do. This is where it happens. They have these specialized things called merocrine glands, and they're only on their paw pads and nose. Have you ever seen those little damp paw prints on your tile floor on a hot day? Yep, that's what that is. It's not their main way of cooling down, but it's a really cool part of their toolkit.
And that brings us to their secret weapon, something called vasodilation. The easiest way to think about this is like a built-in radiator. What their body does is it pushes warm blood into the blood vessels in their ears and their face, the places with less fur. The air flows over those spots, cools the blood down, and then that cooler blood goes back into their body. So next time you see your dog's ears looking a little pink or flushed, that's not just you. That's their cooling system, hard at work.
All right, section 2, a tale of two sweaters. Look, understanding how they cool off is one thing, but the really crucial part is realizing just how different it is from how we cool off. Because if we don't get that, our best intentions, our human ideas about staying cool, can actually be pretty useless or even flat out dangerous for our dogs.
And this slide just puts it side by side, crystal clear. Look at us humans on the left. We've got millions of sweat glands everywhere. We're basically designed to let heat escape from our entire body. Then you look at dogs on the right. Their system is way more localized. It's all about the mouth, paws, and ears. And this one fundamental difference, it's the reason for one of the biggest, most common myths in all of dog care.
Oh, I'm sure you've heard this one. Maybe you've even thought it yourself. It makes perfect sense on the surface, right? Less fur, less heat. A cooler dog. Simple. But now that you understand how their cooling system actually works, you can see why this logic is completely 100% backward.
And I'm not just saying it doesn't work. I mean, it is genuinely dangerous. Taking clippers to a double-coated dog, we're talking about your Huskies, your Goldens, your German Shepherds, you can do so much more harm than good.
So why is it so bad? Well, that double coat is an absolute masterpiece of natural engineering. That fluffy undercoat, it's not just for warmth in the winter. In the summer, it traps a layer of cooler air right next to the skin. It works just like the insulation in your house, keeping the heat out. When you shave it all off, you destroy that natural protection. You're exposing their super sensitive skin to sunburn and, get this, you're actually letting them absorb more direct heat from the sun. The real key isn't shaving, it's brushing, getting all that loose, dead undercoat out so the system can work properly.
Okay, moving on to section 3. Not all pups are the same. So that whole coat thing is a huge piece of the puzzle, but it brings up another really important point. Not all dogs are created equal when it comes to heat. Their breed, their anatomy, it all plays a massive role.
And this table is a perfect example. Look at this. On one hand, you have a breed like a dachshund. Turns out they have a way higher number of those little sweat glands in their paws. Now compare that to a pug, a brachycephalic or flat-faced breed. Not only do they have fewer of those paw sweat glands, but their short snout makes their main cooling tool, panting, way less efficient. So what happens when your body isn't great at cooling itself? You have to change your behavior. And these dogs, they instinctively know they're at a disadvantage. You'll see them making smart choices, seeking out shade more often, doing that classic sploot on a cool tile floor to get their belly nice and cold, and just moving less. They'll cut their activity by more than half sometimes. It's our job as their owners to see that and help them out.
Which brings us to our last section, be a cool parent. Okay, we've got the science down. So what do we do with it? Let's talk about the practical, actionable stuff that can literally save a life.
And we have to start by busting the single most dangerous myth out there. I really can't stress this enough, so please listen. There is absolutely no version of this that is safe. Not for just a minute. Not with the windows cracked. Not even in the shade. Never, ever. A car literally becomes an oven. It's like a greenhouse on wheels. Even on a pretty mild day, say 24 degrees Celsius, the temperature inside that car can shoot past 38 degrees. That's over 100 Fahrenheit in just 10 minutes. A dog's cooling system doesn't stand a chance. It gets overwhelmed almost instantly. It's a death trap. Plain and simple.
Okay, so you need to know the signs of heat stroke. Look for frantic panting, super bright red gums, any kind of weakness, or even collapse. Those are major red flags. If you see any of them, you have to act immediately. Step 1. Get them out of the heat. Step 2. Start cooling them down with cool water. And I mean cool, not icy. Ice water can actually make things worse by trapping heat. While you're doing this, get on the phone to your vet. Then, get your dog to the vet as fast as you possibly can. Every single second counts here.
But look, the best way to deal with heat stroke is to never let it happen in the first place. Prevention is everything. And being proactive is actually pretty easy. We're talking simple stuff. Shift your walks to early morning or late evening. Always have a water bowl with you. Think about getting a cooling mat for the house or a cooling vest for outings. And please don't forget to protect their paws from that scorching asphalt. This isn't about taking away the summer fun. It's about making sure the fun is safe. So there you have it. When we actually understand our dog's unique biology, we can start working with their natural cooling systems instead of against them. And this goes way beyond just keeping them comfy. It's about keeping them safe. So I'll leave you with this. Now that you know the science, what's one thing you're going to change to help your dog beat the heat this summer?